Your Excellencies, Boss Mustafa, the Secretary to the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the former Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, Major General G.A. Melo, the former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Mrs. Pauline Talem, the Permanent Secretary, State House, Jalal Ahmed Arabi, OON, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transport, Madu Zakari, the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Federal Capital Territory, Hajia Sefia Umar, who is the Acting Secretary, Social Development Secretariat, FCTA, our guests here present, our children, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As part of the activities marking the National Democracy Day is the National Exhibition, which is to commence today, being the 7th day of the month of June.
Broadcast coverage of the National Democracy Day exhibition taking place at the International Conference Center with the theme Unbroken Democracy. On behalf of the outside broadcast crew, I am Gufan Shaji welcoming you to the historical exhibition and pictures. It is part of activities marking June 12th, Democracy Day.
Mr. Boss Mustafa. To commence the event, we'll move straight to the welcome address. The welcome address is to be delivered by the former Minister of Information and Culture. With due respect, let's applaud him as he comes up for the welcome address. Alhaji Lai Mohammed. You're welcome, sir.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, the former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Lady Pauline Talem, the permanent secretaries and the representatives all present here, representative of the Chief of Army Staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to adopt the already very expertly established list of protocol. It is my pleasure on behalf of the Federal Government of Nigeria to welcome you all to this historic occasion, commemoration of the National Democracy Day 2019. This exhibition in art, pictures, and immersive digital environment provides yet another opportunity to showcase to the world the many strides in our political history and democratic experience as a nation. This exhibition is aimed at strengthening and deepening understanding of our democracy as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of unbroken democracy of civilian administration in Nigeria. It is designed to provide insight into our political history with the aim of educating, especially our youth, and reawakening their consciousness about our political history. It is therefore my fervent hope that this exhibition would give us an opportunity to appreciate the role of our nationalists, activists, our founding fathers, as well as the successive administrations in actualizing democratic system of governance in Nigeria. I therefore welcome you all to this unveiling ceremony that I hope will open up a whole new level of experience for the viewing pleasure of all of us. I thank you, and God bless.
That applause is paralyzed. Please, can we give the former Honorable Minister a rousing applause? For the first time, many times in my anchoring programs, I would like to especially acknowledge that this program started on time. Take a look at the program. Arrival, 5 on the dot. And I would like to recognize the fact that the Secretary to the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria arrived on time. Please, can we give him a rosy applause for keeping to time? That is leadership by example. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, next is a special remark. And it is my pleasure and honor to invite Mr. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. A round of applause, please. Welcome.
The former Minister for Information and Culture, the former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, representative of the Chief of Army Staff, permanent secretaries here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our students, members of the press. It is my honor and pleasure to unveil this exhibition on our political history as one of the activities lined up for the celebration of this year's National Democracy Day. The exhibition with the theme Unbroken Democracy takes us back memory lane on our political struggles and eventual freedom from the British colonial masters. This, I believe, will reawaken the consciousness of the citizens and especially educate our young ones about the founding fathers of our great nation, Nigeria. This indeed is timely, as this year's celebration coincides with the 20th anniversary of an uninterrupted democracy, civil rule since 1999, as well as the consolidation of the achievements recorded in strengthening and deepening our democratic experience since June 12, 1993. The exhibition this year is rather unique, as it has also presented our history in arts and pictures, but also in a digital interactive form that presents a whole new experience to all our guests. It is my sincere hope that this exhibition will bring to remembrance the depth of our political history and further serve as a uniting force for all of us as a people. let me thank you for coming, and truly would encourage the Federal Capital Territory to ensure that students from different schools within the Federal Capital Territory take the benefit of coming to this exhibition so that they can enrich their knowledge of the history of our nation, our leaders, and our people. By extension, I would also encourage those of us that have had the privilege of coming here today to ensure that we invite as many people as possible to benefit from the knowledge and the interactive nature of this exhibition. Our land and our country is rich in knowledge, is rich in history, is rich in leadership. Oftentimes, we relegate these very core things that have made us Nigerians to the background. I believe with this particular exhibition, like I said earlier in my address, it will reawaken our consciousness as a people to appreciate the fact that we have a country that is endowed with human and natural resources. And it is our collective responsibility to exploit these resources and bring them to the fore so that we can move this country on the path of prosperity, unity, and progress. Thank you very much, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
At times, when some applause is not rousing enough, we say that applause is paralyzed. Please, can we give the Secretary to the Government of the Federation a very rosy one? Thank you very much, sir. Just an adjustment in the protocol. We are supposed to take the vote of thanks before the unveiling and the tour. But right now, we're going to take the vote of thanks. Permit us to take the vote of thanks before the official unveiling and the tour. But let me tell you, there's a secret in that hall that you need to see. I was privileged to just enter and view that place. And it's really, really amazing. You learn a lot about the history and people of this great country, Nigeria. And I would like to give it to the FCT Archives and Historical Bureau with the director, Ms. Siri Jogai. Very digitalized form of historical monuments and information that you need to take home. You will learn something new today about this country. Please, can we give a very rosy applause to the FCT Archives and Historical Bureau. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me now to invite for the vote of thanks the Permanent Secretary, State House, Jalal Ahmed Ravi, OON.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the former Minister of Information and Culture, Your Excellency Dem Pauline Talon, former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, my colleagues, the Permanent Secretaries here, Permanent Secretary Transportation, Sabiu Zakari, Permanent Secretary Political and Economic Affairs Office of the SGF, Mr. Gabriel Aduda, Permanent Secretary Cabinet Affairs Office, Babatunde Lawal, the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, senior government officials here present, students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I have been given a very simple task, but simple the way you perceive it. Perhaps the task given to me, I will say, is akin to a couple's first night on honeymoon. It could be tensed the moment they check in, but if they're able to break the egg well, then you see the happiness on the breakfast table the following morning. We are all gathered, driven by the patriotism in us. Perhaps to avoid being accused of being too conservative, I would have said that if it is a matter of thanks, we should all thank ourselves for being here, not for anything but for sheer patriotism, associating our beliefs and our thoughts with the history of where we came from and where we are today. But all the same, since it is a tradition, I would like to express a big thank you to all of us for finding it worthy to attend this event on behalf of the Inaugural Council or Committee. And I hope the takeaway from here will remain in our memories from now till eternity. I wish us all safe return to our various destinations as we walk away from here. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. And I also like to inform each and every one of us here that this program is being carried live on the largest TV network in Africa, NTA. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the official unveiling and tour of the exhibition stand. I would like to formally invite the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and his team to do the official unveiling and tour of the exhibition. Nigeria is great. We are a great country, full of culture, a great country with diversity, language,
unveiling of the art exhibition to celebrate the 20th anniversary of an unbroken democracy and showcase the many strides of our political history. Well, Nigeria is the most populous African country and is the Federal Republic in West Africa, bordering Republic of Niger on the north, Chad Republic to the northeast, Cameroon to the east, Benin Republic to the west, and a coastal shoreline to the south that opens into the Atlantic Ocean. Before the emergence of Nigeria as a nation in 1900 and the amalgamation of southern and northern British protectorates, along with Lagos as a colony in 1914, the entity was home to a number of ancient empires, kingdoms, and non-centralized states. These entities were later transformed to a modern state after 99 years of British colonial rule.
We have Aminu Kano, who was the leader of NEPU at that time when they were burning to free Nigeria from the hands of, from the yoke of the British. We also had women who were also burning. We have Fumilayo Kuti. She was a teacher, a political campaigner. She was a woman rights activist, a traditional aristocrat, and she was the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria. Margaret Ekpo.
That's Fela's mother.
Yes. Then we have Margaret Ekpo also. She was also a social mobilizer, and she belonged to the NCNC then. The woman who represented the North, Hajia Gambo Sawaba, she was also a mobilizer. Yes, she was a member of NEPU. At the time the provocation reached the hearts of Nigerians, about 81 parties were flooded, but the five major ones, these people here were the leaders of the first five major parties. NPC by Sir Ahmadu Bello, the NCNC by Dr. Zik. We had the Action Group by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and then we have NEPU by Aminu Kano. The United Middle Belt Congress was headed by Joseph Tarfa. These are the three political giants we have in Nigeria: Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, and Zik. We call them the big three. So this was the first political activities we had in 1952 for election into the Lagos City Council. Here we have the electoral materials being led by a white man. So,
Electoral commissioner.
This was, yes. So these are all political groups. These people were preparing for the London conference. These are the delegates that were moving for the London Constitutional Conference. Yes. These are also the opposition group. We are the ones from the Action Group, the Alliance for, they went for the Federal House of Representatives in Lagos.
This one came from my constituency.
Oh, really? Okay. You remember, this is Aminu Kano here, Zik, and others, went with the Premier of Eastern Nigeria. They are House of Representative members.
This is Ambassador Fatih Bala's father. That's her father.
Okay. Yarima Bala. Okay.
He was a member of NEPU from he represented my constituency.
These are all the political These are all the...
Remember who was NEPU?
political activities. You see campaigns going on now, preparing for the First Republic in 1959. This is Zik. Look at his podium. You can see his podium. This is Ahmadu Bello. And this is Awolowo too. Look at his podium, the same way as that of Zik. These were all rallies, political rallies. Look at their vehicle. 403. We picked landmark activities to represent. This is the story of our democracy, how it grew from then. So this is a very important picture you see here. The coalition government preparing for the independence and the first republic in Nigeria. So when we got independent, the first Governor General was Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Here he's been sworn in by the then Chief Justice, Justice Adetokunbo Ademola. Here we see Zik swearing in his Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. 3 years after, that was when we became a republic, and we have our first president of Nigeria in 1963, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. This is himself and his cabinet after the swearing ceremony at when we became a republic.
Orizo, Senate President, Jallo Waziri was the speaker.
I can tell the story. Excuse me. Sorry, sir. So we all know the story. We deliberately kept a full story of the participation of the military in politics, but we have to mention them. This was the interregnum 13 years before we got back into in democracy again. That was the Second Republic. Murtala was passionate about returning the rulership of this country to the civilians, and so he established a constitutional drafting committee headed by Chief Rotimi Williams, after which we have the 5 political leaders. We have Waziri, politics without tears, without bitterness, I'm sorry. Then we have Aminu Kano, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Shagari. And you know, after this, we moved into the Second Republic. Here, Obasanjo continued with the ideas of Murtala since he took over from him. That's him casting his vote to usher in the Second Republic. That's him now handing over to Shagari. Here is a photograph of Shagari addressing a joint session of the National Assembly in October 1979. Yes.
Budget
This is the day we are celebrating, starting from today. The Chief MKO Abiola, the flag bearer of the Social Democratic Party, an acclaimed winner of the June 12th election in 1993. So there was a little interference again with the military in between until we returned, the democracy returned again, the Fourth Republic. That is where we are. I mean, this is what we are celebrating. From 1999 to date, we have not had a break of democracy. That's why we titled this exhibition Unbroken Democracy. This is the first time we had the transition from civilian to civilian. We had a little challenge, a little bit, I don't know whether our democracy was a little bit threatened with the illness of our late dear President, Umaru Yar'Adua. We all know the story. That's the doctrine of necessity that eventually got Dr. Ebele Jonathan to finish the first term of President Umaru Yar'Adua. And then also, this is a historic moment captured here. For the first time, an incumbent party was defeated, and we had the change that we wanted. So today, can we move back a little, sir? These ones here.
First gear or what?
No, you see, the journey is this way. No straight journey. You have to make turns. Here, we have. This is what happened. This is what happened on the 29th May. This is what happened on the 29th May, the arrival of Mr. President for the swearing-in ceremony. This way, sir. So we were all there. We witnessed everything. Arrival, exchanging pleasantries. Here, then we had the swearing-in of the Vice President, his swearing-in, and here he's acknowledging cheers from the crowd. So I want to show you something here, a little bit very interesting. Let's move from here. This telephone is still active. If you connect it now, you can make a call with it. It was used by Lord Lugard. If you connect it now, you will receive a call. Yes, if it's connected. Then this is the evolution of our currency. This is the evolution of our currency from the cowrie through pounds and the naira that has changed shaped and forms, even though we never used our coins. What is next? Next, the artwork sitting there, it's a terracotta, the Nok terracotta. And I want to confirm to us here that the FCT falls within the Nok cultural region. Falls within the Nok cultural region.
All the way from the plateau,
yes.
the city to
yes.
Kaduna.
Yes. We said exhibition in pictures, arts, and immersive environment. These are the talents of our fellow children. That's a sitting, sir. If you will make the boy happy, maybe you buy it off him. Yes, these are sitting chairs. And this is Africa. He tried to carve out Africa. And these are the chairs. You can have them maybe in your garden. Yes, very strong. Very strong. Yes, you can sit. That's a stool. So these are all their handiwork. These are all their handiwork.
I'm going to stand right here.
No.
close the window, that window, that side, close the glass window.